Primer. Guys, we have a problem. Everybody who placed an order last week on MotionAutoTv.com got cash in their order. The issue that we have this week is that I don't know if the C10 is gonna be done before the end of the giveaway. This week we are giving away tools in random orders. We are putting in random Milwaukee tools, random Tekton tools, random things in orders this week only, and this is the last week to enter for a chance to win the C10 project truck, which really isn't gonna be a project truck anymore because I am the leader of the project car rescue team right here. Look at that, that's what I do. This initially was only supposed to be a 2-week quick like respray on it, and with older cars we figured out that you can't really do like a quick scuff and shoot paint job, especially when it needs so much body work. We're doing a ton of body work, and that's what you guys will see in this video. So again, if you have not got entered, the giveaway ends in 3 days. It's not painted yet, but in this video we make a lot of progress, get it in primer, and it will be painted before the winner comes and picks it up, or if they choose the $10,000 of cash. So if you want the chance, add some random tools in your orders. If you want a chance to win the C10, if you want to be part of the project car rescue team and go down the slippery slope with me of trying to save project cars, you join me over here with one of these t-shirts. We also have all the new merchandise and stuff mostly in stock and ready to ship. Appreciate all this love and support on the giveaway so far. Good luck to everybody who is entered, and let's get to work. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So another day, some more body work, right Josh?
Yeah.
What do you think about body work?
I hate it.
You hate it? It's one of those things, like once you know how to do it, you're pretty much stuck doing it.
Pretty much.
It's like one of them weird things. So in the last video, we showed Josh taking these things to his house, the inner fender wells, because there was quite a bit of rust. It's a really common area, right? Just right here. Pretty much just right there, they all rust. So he went ahead and he got this one done, but we did need to get some filler work in, or we needed to basically get all this stuff fitted. This is something that we could do while we're getting everything else in primer. He got this one all cut out. You could tell this is what he started with, and this is pretty much what he ended with over here on this side. So this one looks really good. Now we are doing a little bit of filler on this side. So like I said, these are the new doors. The last ones had a little bit of rust on them. Now that they're actually on here, got all the gaps and stuff kind of fit how we need. So he put a little bit of filler over here as well as on the door. And that's so when you look down the side of the truck, you don't see like, you know, a big lip or a, you know, the door sticking out and a really ugly looking gap, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the front. These were the brand new fenders, but obviously it's almost 60 years old now.
It's old.
Kind of crazy to think that like you probably like seen these things when you were young, and then you're like, oh, that ain't too old of a truck, but now it's like pushing almost 60 years old.
Right.
A little bit of filler on both sides, and basically you just kind of block it back and forth, so that way you get the panels fitting really nice. And again, there's probably barely maybe a 1/16 of an inch of filler on there. Up here on the roof, this was the thing that he was doing in the last video, was essentially shrinking the metal to get rid of that kind of tin can effect. So basically heating everything up, pulling it out, and then he was actually cooling it down with the compressed air. Now that this is nice and solid and it's pulled up a little bit, now there won't be that much filler up here at all. I really like this shade outside.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer out here.
So Josh came to the shop when we first got here, and he's like, you should be doing like all your work like outside. And I didn't understand it. But now, like doing all the body work, you don't get dust all over the inside of the shop. Nice little breeze, it's like air conditioning.
This is ready.
Is it almost ready? All right guys, as you've seen, we got the welder out over here, welding up a couple little things on here. So we deleted this because we have the fuel cell. Got this little patch panel welded in right there. The little piece on the door jamb right there where, you know, too much grinding and stuff. So I went ahead and welded that stuff up right there. And then there's a little bit more that we need to do on the other side as well. But one of the things that we'd like to address is there's these little things. Right here, essentially, is where they put on one of these things where they're like kind of crimped together. And so what we're gonna do is make a little patch to kind of, because we don't have that little crimp, they kind of look like crap anyhow. So we're gonna make a little piece out of metal, stick it in there, weld it, kind of smooth all this stuff out and make it work and look a lot nicer than that. Got some more filler work done on this side. So I think that's probably its last skim right there. So those are looking really good, panel to panel. And then again right here, so see that little thing right there. So that seam is basically split. So I'll go back in with the welder, stitch that back in, grind it down, and then put a little bit of filler right there and make it look like it never happened. Same thing right here, I need to make one of those. So we got some welding done right here. Welded this thing up on the front, grinded that all flat right there, as well as inside the door jamb where the new rocker was welded on. Kind of did a couple things on that. Josh is over here, pretty much got this side most of the way body worked. What do you think, one more skim? Got the lines and gaps and everything looking good over here. This is where I welded in that gas cap, so a little bit of filler over the top of that. Overall, looking pretty well. This is the other thing that I need to do. I need to weld in that guy right there. While he's kind of messing with that stuff on this side, I can't really get to welding anything over there. So what I might actually do is we need to install this fuel cell. So as of right now, we can't start or move the truck, and believe it or not, it's actually a little bit heavier to push than you would think. We got this fuel tank right here, up under the frame and bolts in there. I need to remove this little cross member right here. And these things are like riveted in. So we got these rivets like that. That's how that one is. So I'm gonna try maybe the air chisel, bust that top one off, or maybe just the grinder. So we get that thing off and then get the fuel in it. Run a new 8-amp fuel line to the fuel pump. It has an external fuel pump under the tank or under the bed. We'll run a new fuel line to that, and then we should be able to actually start it up and move it around some more. All right guys, so got the fuel cell all installed in here. Got the nuts and bolts, and it basically has like a little welded thing. So you just drill holes and then you put the bolts in it, and then as long as you drill holes in the right spot, and they go in there. So I had to hog out my holes a little bit, but it's good. Everything's good with the fuel cell. Just need to run the lines now. Josh is over here doing a skim on the roof. Everything's looking pretty straight, getting that stuff all blocked out. You got this door removed, added a little bit to this rocker down here. There's just like a little 1/8 of an inch. Not even 1/8, it was like a 16th, just a little bit, just so that way the door didn't just chop off at the very bottom. This side over here was already pretty good. Yeah, basically all the panel stuff looks really, really good. You can see, if you guys would have seen this before, you would be really, really impressed with how it's turning out. So Josh went ahead, body filled over, re-welded for the fuel cap, and then I still need to weld that thing right there, but everything's looking really good. We need to do some primer. Josh, when do you think we can do primer? Tomorrow? And I am really excited for the primer. I guess I'm gonna start getting to welding a couple little things, and then Josh is gonna get filling some things, and hopefully some primer here the next day. Some more body work. Josh, what do you think?
I'm over it.
You're over it?
Done.
He's the professional. He's not supposed to be over this yet. You're gonna go back to retirement after this, right?
Yeah.
Possibly going back to retirement. So The windshield is obviously all out. There was like this glue in here. It wasn't even really like a glue, it was almost like a wax. I got all that stuff out. Josh has been going crazy with the bodywork over here, and this thing is turning out so good. So the back of the cab, this lip right here, basically had like a ripple to it, you know, as you looked down it, and you can kind of see like right here, like right there, there's like a little piece, little ripple right there, and then actually in the front, it's pretty good. But right here on the bottom, there's a bunch of rivets. Not rivets, there's spot welds from the factory. They kind of look weird, so he actually went ahead, threw a little bit of filler, got all that scuffed, and that's basically blocked out really nice. So that's gonna be super straight. This rail all the way around the top, I got this welded up this morning, and then he basically did this whole rail in the back up underneath this little lip. This kind of reminds me of like an EK hatch, how they have that little, you know, like the little ducktail on the back of it. I really wish I could explain or do a better job of showing you guys how much work has actually gone into this truck. Like I said, when we first took on this project in the giveaway, we thought it's gonna take us 2 weeks, you know, like what's the big deal with that? Like we'll get it going, we'll tear it apart the first week, we'll order some parts, put the parts on, paint it. 2 weeks later, we'll have this thing painted. Now here we are, it's the 26th, giveaway ends the 31st, and we're still doing the body work on it. But that's kind of the slippery slope that happens when you start doing body work, because you know there's not really a way to do it fast, because there's really only one way to do bodywork, which is the right way. In order to do it the right way, it takes a little bit of time. So the goal for this video and the goal for hopefully today is to try to get the cab in primer. The cab and then the front fenders and then the doors and stuff in primer. The booth is pretty much ready to go. So should be able to pull some stuff in there hopefully here soon. Pulling the car in the booth for the first time. You can see, got a jacket up right there. Obviously, a lot of people, you told us that we weren't gonna have very much space right here. That's true. We got these jacks right here from Benpack, so these work out good in the front, and then we're just using a jack in the back, and we should be able to swing it around just fine. The booth looks a little smaller with a big old C10 in here. Yeah, it's crazy how wide these things are. It's big. I mean, I like this amount of space right here, but on the other side, because it's not completely centered, you know, like that's kind of tight. Well, let's get a bigger booth. Guys, so she is fully primered right now. Take a little peek at it in the booth. First primer in the booth. Turn this thing off.
Beautiful.
You ready?
I like it. I'm proud of you, and I'm going home. See you tomorrow.
Later, buddy. Later, buddy. Josh, you ready to look at this thing? I've already seen it because I was in here painting it, but priming it, whatever you want to say. But yeah, we definitely got some primer. I got pretty much three solid coats with a little bit extra on the filler. But just looking down the side of this thing, and looking at the panel, you know, panel to panel, like looking right here, front to back, all that stuff, it looks really, really good. You know, this stage of primer is essentially just a tool. So it's a tool to be able to see the things that you need to continue on and continue to fix. It's not like we could just like block this out and paint it, because there's obviously not enough primer. So basically what this is gonna do after the next step, we'll go ahead and block this thing fully out, make sure everything is looking good, and then we'll probably have to spot prime any spots. If there is something, let's say there's a little high spot or a little low spot or whatever, I did see like 1 or 2 little lows, which obviously like you can't really see on the roof other than if you like skim the whole thing. But basically we'll block the roof with some guide coat, and then we'll be able to see if there's like a little hail dent or anything like that on the roof. And we'll be able to just put a little bit of filler in there, block it out, and then we'll essentially be able to go over this whole thing, spot prime the places where we do a little bit more primer, and we'll pretty much be good to go. Did a couple of the little fender panels right here. These go above the thing. This is the front grille. Did a little bit of filler work up there on the front. First paint in the booth, or first primer in the booth. Success, I'd say. And now we just need to get the walls painted a little bit white, so there's a little bit more light in here. You can see the top of it's a little bit dark right now. And you know, as of right now, I kind of wish this booth was a little bit bigger. The last booth that I was painting in, I think it was 26 by 14 or 15, and this one is 22 by 13. But if it was straight up on the walls, it wouldn't feel so kind of tight, you know? But now that it kind of tapers in, it's kind of different of a situation. So don't forget to get entered for a chance to win this thing. Again, the giveaway ends the end of this month, the 31st, which is Sunday. You guys are probably seeing this video maybe a day or so before that, but wish us luck on getting this thing primered. Head down to the links in the description, grab some entries, and this week, for the rest of the giveaway, we are putting random Milwaukee tools in orders with 15 times entries. So appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button if you like this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.